Hello, Seiiti Arata. What if I told you that you lie to the point that you believe in your own lies? That is the process of self-deception that affects us all through a psychological mechanism proven by an experiment led by 4 researchers. The link is here. In this experiment, participants had to solve logical reasoning questions. Just to give you an idea, one of the questions was, if a man's weight is 75% of his own weight plus 21 kilograms, how much does he weigh? If you want, you can pause the video now and leave your answer in the comments. Be sure to reply in the comments, so at the end of the video I have a surprise for you. In this experiment, it was proven that people suffer the effect of self-deception as follows. A control group performed the test and handed over directly to the scientists. The scientists had the answer key, corrected the test, and calculated the average score of the participants. And another group of participants performed the very same exam, but with a difference. It was possible to cheat because the answers to the questions were at the bottom of the test sheet. These participants were instructed to answer the questions first and then later check their own score using the answer key. And just to be clear, the scientists asked the participants to be honest and check the answers only after finishing the exam. Well, guess what happened? Obviously, the control group had lower scores on average than the group that was able to cheat by looking at the answer key in a page footer. Just as the saying goes, opportunity makes the thief. That is, if the test has an answer key, those taking it will take advantage and make their scores look better. There is nothing new so far. The demonstration of the psychological mechanism of self-deception comes now in the second phase of the experiment. Imagine that you were part in a group who had access to the answer key. Then you try to answer 10 questions and you got 5 right and 5 wrong. You only got half of the test right. However, as you had access to the answer key, you decided to amend some of the questions, which deep inside, you knew the answers. And after that, you ended up with 8 questions right and 2 wrong. Because these 2 wrong were really hard, you didn't know how to solve them. In other words, you made your results a little bit better because you felt like you had a good reason to improve your score. Now you had 80% of accuracy. And now the scientists will ask you, if they give you a second exam with 100 questions of comparable complexity, how many you think you will get right? Oh, and the second exam does not have the answer key on the footer. You have got to fill out the answer sheet and return it to the scientists so that they can check your performance. What now? Will you tell the truth that you are only able to get 50% of the test right? Or will you say that you will have the ability to get 80% of accuracy? Remember that you don't have the answer key and therefore you won't be able to make your results look better than they actually are. What the scientists have proven is that people tend to believe in their own lies. In our example, they truly believe that they will score 80%. That is, they incorporate the self-deception. And that has many implications in our lives. If you have ever tried to study a subject alone by doing exercises and mock tests, you have probably come across the following dilemma. Is it better to do all the exercises and then check results only when you finish? Or can you do one exercise, then check if you got it right, and then jump back to the next exercise, then check the answer, and so on? The first option is always better. In order to avoid self-deception, you should answer all the questions and then check the answer key only after finishing all the exercises or your mock test. Otherwise, you may end up unintentionally checking the answer to the next exercise as well and then fall into self-deception of believing that you really aced it and that you deserve all the credit. Understanding our psychology is key to making informed decisions, and that will have practical effects in our lives. For example, there are people who seriously believe that they earn a salary of, let's say, $2,000 a month, but they don't really get out that much because this is the gross amount. They are deciding to ignore the taxes and fees that are withheld, and this gets particularly complicated when these professionals start to do financial planning based on the gross amount. This difference in the end can greatly affect the bottom line, and the person is surprised when they don't understand where the money is going. Oh, and returning to the question about the person's weight at the beginning of the video, by any chance, was the answer that you wrote in the comments influenced by the comments of other people? Were you a victim of self-deception? We will hardly know the true answer because this is how self-deception works. We're probably thinking that we already knew the answer and that the comments from other people did not affect us.